on using some of the editing features that can be found in the GIMP. These features were previously used in a tutorial I did on making a manual 2D to 3D conversion using a depth map. In order to do this tutorial, I've just created this very simple picture with two different coloured splodgers. The first feature we're going to see is the Intelligent Scissors tool. This tool is very good for separating out objects in an image. All you do is run the tool along the edge of the object, placing points periodically. The GIMP will then interpolate between those points and select the object. When you've finished, select the first point. If you find some edges where it hasn't followed it well, you simply click to create a new point and then drag the edge until it is aligned with the object. Once finished, click in the centre of the object and a selection will be made. If there are any remaining edges that need refining, simply select the Add to Selection button and then run around the new edges. And then in the same way, click in the middle to add that to your selection. Once the object has been selected, simply copy it and then in the Layers dialog, select New Layer. You will have to provide a name for this layer. Let's call it Layer 2. This will now appear in the Layer dialog. Simply click on that layer and then go Paste, and then right click on the pasted selection and select Anchor. And as you can see, the selection has now been placed on a transparent background. This process will be repeated to place the red central object onto a new layer. The technique is exactly the same as before. Again, the edges can be refined afterwards. So copy the selection, create a new layer to contain the selection, give it a name, and then paste the selection onto that layer. The hashed background on the layers indicates that the background is transparent. Now we can go through and fill in the areas of a layer. I will use the gradient selection tool to do this. If you select the foreground to background option, then it will fill from the foreground where you click to the background colour where you release the mouse button. A gradient colour will be created that varies from blue through to yellow. Simply double click on the colour box and select the colour that you wish to use. And again, from foreground to background. So, with layer 2 selected, a line will be drawn from one point to another and the gradient fill will be performed. As you can see, the wrong thing has happened. Although layer 3 is still stood in front, the entire of the background layer has been overridden. This is because we've destroyed the transparency. What we can do is use the transparency to selection tool to recover our old selection and then repeat the fill. This will now just cover layer 2. The same way we can select layer 3, use the alpha to selection tool, alpha is effectively transparency in this case, and then use that to select the red dot, which we will now colour in purple. As you can see, it has only done the red and not the black. By changing and clicking on the fill whole selection option, we will entirely fill the selection. Now we have a coloured layered image which we could go on to further edit or simply save. If we select save and select a JPEG as the output, then the GIMP will automatically flatten the image and produce a standard 2D image. Note that if you want to retain the layers, you can save it as an XCF file. As you can see, the GIMP is warning that it will need to flatten the image to save it. And that's all there is to it.